everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where everything you're about to hear and see has been done in one take. I'm your host, the One Take Man. I am doing a video that is in keeping with the theme of last week's one, namely I'm going to be talking about Power Rangers again. Only this time I'm going to focus on one specific aspect of this franchise, namely my main point of contact with the franchise over the past 2.5 years. The freemium online fighting game, Power Rangers Legacy Wars. I've been playing it for 2.5 years, but the game itself was actually released in March 2017, so it's almost 4 years old. It was released around the same time as the movie came out, the most recent movie, in order to build up hype. However, it has persisted for a long time afterwards. And I kind of want to explore what makes it, interesting. Maybe possibly even explain how it has such a long shelf life. One place I don't really have to go to in order to explain that is the story, because this game doesn't really have a story. Okay, it has a plot, but even that plot serves more as an in-universe justification, an explanation as to why characters from different settings and different times that are decades and light years apart, literally, can still appear together in a setting that allows them to fight. Because there isn't a story per se, there also isn't any single player mode. So everything about this game is online, meaning this game either lives or dies based solely on its engagement. So, how does it foster that engagement? Well, generally there are two ways you can do that. Number one is you can go the Raid Shadow Legends route and just, spam advertisements all throughout the internet. Or you can do thing number two, and you can approach the players with what they want. What do players want? Well, they want to make sure that their actions have they want to see that their actions have consequences. They want to see that they are making a difference in the world or in the game. Based either on how the setting itself changes or on how their record changes, gets better, gets worse, etc. Whatever it is they're doing, they have to see that their efforts make a difference. Because you can't change the setting, given the setting is pretty much locked in place from the premise, you have to make it possible for the player to gain, prestige or whatever else. How does this game do that? Not only does it, but how does it do it so well that it can still be interesting for 4 years after it was first emerged? Well, it does so by giving the players, depending on the wins, medals as well as various reward boxes. Those reward boxes are gained for winning fights or for completing various secondary challenges. And these reward boxes contain various resources that allow the players to upgrade their fighting characters, to unlock or rather get new characters, which they can then also upgrade and play around with. They can diversify their portfolio. They can increasingly get better and better at the game, that kind of thing. And also, this game is very much built for that kind of competition, because it has a very extensive league system. Like from absolute beginner to best in the world, there are like 17 different leagues in between those two stages, and each of them is pretty much designed in such a way that whoever you fight is within the same skill and experience range as you, supposedly. Or at least that's true for the main game. There are also various side challenges where where this kind of matchmaking isn't exactly the standard. So you get some very lopsided matches with some literally squash matches in cases. So yeah, that makes this game somewhat more challenging at times. But overall, it actually is very rewarding to play. You do notice that your actions do get rewarded, and they do get rewarded well. Thing is, if you want to upgrade a specific player character, or if you as a player want to upgrade a specific character, that's not going to work because any loot or any resources you do get might not allow you to upgrade that particular character in the way you want them to. The best way to play this game is just in daily bursts of about 30 minutes to an hour. And then so you can just farm resources, and then once you find out that you have enough to upgrade any given character, then you upgrade that specific character. And I will say this game is also built in order to accommodate that, because there are a whole variety of daily challenges that take maybe a bit less to finish. But there are also various other challenge modes, which broken as they sometimes are, even from a matchmaking perspective, are at times really interesting to go through. If only through the perspective of it allows you to try out new characters without risk to your prestige or to your level in the main game setting. Though they do at times tend to get quite repetitive, regrettably. So what is it like to actually play the game? Well, each character has two variations, one leader and one assist. In order to play the game, you have to construct a team which consists of one leader and two assists. And then you go into the game and fight someone else's team. The leader has 4 specific attacks or moves. The assists each have a move of their own, and you have to use them to defeat the opponent, who is similarly capable of various attacks. Though these attacks have various type descriptors, which means that some attacks can be which means that pretty much every attack can be countered by some other attack in the game. So, like all fighting games, you have to know when to strike and when to back off. There are a few more wrinkles when it comes to the mechanics of the game, but I really don't want to go into them now, or we'd be here all day. Same as why I don't want to describe the challenges too in depth. Suffice it to say that these wrinkles actually make the game easier to just pick up and play. It makes for a more intuitive gameplay experience, and ultimately I think it is more rewarding overall, because while everyone can pick up and play, it takes a while. It takes some experience to actually become good, and also a bit of luck, particularly in the matchmaking. Well, I did say the game is pretty good with matchmaking. There are a few characters in this game which really aren't balanced properly. And if you come against one of those characters, you're almost always guaranteed to lose. The game does get patched pretty regularly. However, in spite of all these patches, some problems still persist, and also these patches can also bring up new problems, because that's the thing when you're dealing with additive gameplay, with with patches that add various features. Some of the features that get added later might not work with features that were added in a previous patch. But overall I'll have to say the matchmaking works pretty well. What makes this game stand out though is both the visual component and the audio component. I'm going to start with the visual, and I won't go too deep into the design of the actual interface. If you want to, you can find it online. There are tons of pictures everywhere, and I think they all do a pretty good job of conveying what the mood and tone of the game is like. But I do want to talk about the actual character designs, which are very well rendered. One of the features of the game is that it has console or PC-like graphics in the palm of your hand, and let me tell you, that is not bragging. That is definitely true. This game, all the characters are rendered very well. All their movements are very fluid, and all their various poses when it comes to either victory, defeat, or upgrades are really brimming with personality, and they really really allow you to engage with the character as a player. And to the point where when you lose, it's not like, oh crap, I've lost some medals, or oh crap, I won't be able to win this challenge. It really does go into the, oh crap, I've let my character down kind of thing, and it's actually kind of cute, and like I said, it helps you feel like you actually make a difference to some extent. And also, the other thing I mentioned that this game does very well, the audio component. Every action you do, both while fighting and while just browsing the game and clicking through all its various features, yields some kind of audio trigger, and they are all very small and very very small things, but they really add a lot of weight to the experience. They are very satisfying to click through. And if you're playing this game right, you will be clicking through a lot. So it does that very well. Also, the main background incidental theme of the game is also a very good one. It is very it is great as auto music. It is great for setting you into the right tone, and also all the various arenas have their own background themes, and all these background themes are also very good at setting the mood and setting the tone of the fight and of the place where this where this fight is supposed to take place. It is dramatic. It is engaging. It is and it absolutely just helps build the atmosphere and establish the stakes that are at play. So, well, what else can I say other than it makes for a very fulfilling game. Overall, these themes are, like I said, overall these themes are very good. There are some, I admit, some of them might get stale through repetitiveness, but even so, I have to say that the worst thing you can say about the worst of these themes is that it's not bad. If we were to talk about the game as a whole, there are lots of things it does well. It has a very well developed league system. The matchmaking works very well too. All the characters have a lot of personality, and that comes through in their designs, in their animations, in their movements, in their fighting style. and also pretty much all the audio, all the auditory cues, all the auditory cues, and uh, all the songs and sounds within the game um, are very good and are very helpful at immersing the player. However, some issues with balancing certain characters, as well as as well as the at times more repetitive and more repetitive and not and more repetitive and moments from the game that cause you to disengage somewhat with the plot. Keep it just shy of a perfect score. But overall, this game still does very well. It gets, for my money, it's a 4-star out of 5 game. So, and I totally recommend it. If you have 30 minutes to 1 hour to burn almost every day, then you can go ahead and go ahead and download it. You won't regret it. And yeah, this has been my review. I'm sorry if I stuttered a bit. This is my, I don't know, 6th take so far. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it regardless. If you did, then go ahead and leave a like. If you have anything you'd like to add, the comment section is widely available. And if you want to see when the next video comes out, spoiler alert, it's going to be next week. If you want to see when exactly next week, well then I suggest you subscribe. Maybe also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you. Until next time, I have been the One Take Man.